In an era drowning in information, where every moment brings a new data point, a fleeting headline, a superficial trend, everyone knows a little about everything. Yet, consider the profound paradox. Knowing everything means mastering nothing. And mastering nothing, let me assure you, is the swiftest, most certain path to becoming utterly indistinguishable. Reflect for a moment on your own experience. Do you feel the constant pull to consume more, to keep pace with an endless stream of generalities, only to find yourself no closer to true eminence, no clearer on your unique contribution? This ceaseless pursuit of broad, shallow understanding is not the hallmark of success. It is the very definition of mediocrity. You are being conditioned to believe that scattered knowledge is power. But I ask you, where does true power reside? Does it lie in 1,000 fragments, each too small to ignite a lasting fire? Or does it reside in the concentrated brilliance of a single focused beam capable of cutting through any obstacle? This is not merely a philosophical question. It is the foundational principle for building any lasting monument of achievement. The world around you clamors for your attention, pulling you in myriad directions, each promising a sliver of insight, a fleeting advantage. Yet, how many of these slivers coalesce into a cohesive, unstoppable force? Almost none. This generalist glut, this superficial engagement with countless topics, is not preparing you for greatness. It is burying your potential beneath an avalanche of the irrelevant. What if the very path to extraordinary wealth, undeniable influence, and a life of profound purpose lies not in succumbing to this trend, but in defying it? What if your true inherent power isn't found in broad knowledge, but in a singular, focused intellectual weapon, honed to perfection? Think of the most successful individuals you admire. Were they known for their superficial acquaintance with 1,000 subjects, or for their deep, almost intuitive mastery of one or two critical domains? The answer is universally clear. They possessed a definite chief aim, and their knowledge was meticulously cultivated to serve that singular purpose. Their minds were not encyclopedias of trivia. They were precision instruments of applied wisdom, each facet sharpened by an unwavering commitment to specialization. Today, we unlock the ancient secret of specialized knowledge. This is not merely a concept from dusty old texts. It is the living, breathing blueprint used by every titan of industry, every groundbreaking innovator, every enduring success story, from the captains of early industry to the visionaries shaping our modern world. They understood, perhaps intuitively, that while general knowledge might get you a seat at the table, specialized knowledge gives you the power to redesign the entire room. This isn't about learning more in the conventional sense. It is about learning smarter, learning with surgical precision, about accumulating and organizing facts and experience for the attainment of a definite purpose. It is about building an empire of expertise, a domain so uniquely yours, so profoundly understood, that no one can compete with you on its chosen grounds. This is your invitation, your call to action, to stop drifting aimlessly in a sea of information and to begin charting a course towards your own intellectual goldmine. Prepare yourself, for the journey into true mastery begins now. You have glimpsed the chasm separating general knowledge from true power. Now let us delve deeper into the very nature of this power, this unseen force we call specialized knowledge. This is not merely an accumulation of facts. It is an alchemical transformation, a process that elevates raw information into something far more potent, applied wisdom. Consider the vast, often overwhelming ocean of data available to anyone with a device and an internet connection. Every morsel of general information, every surface-level answer, is readily at hand. Google can furnish facts, figures, and definitions in milliseconds. But can Google conceive a novel solution to an intractable problem? Can it synthesize disparate pieces of information into a cohesive, actionable strategy that yields extraordinary results? The answer, unequivocally, is no. Specialized knowledge moves beyond the mere possession of facts. It is the profound capacity to understand, interpret, organize, and most critically, to apply those facts towards a definite chief aim. It is the wisdom born of experience, of deep study, of relentless experimentation within a specific domain. It is less about what you know and infinitely more about what you can do with that knowing. This is the very essence of organized planning, the strategic deployment of mental capital to achieve a predetermined outcome. Without this applied wisdom, even the most extensive general knowledge remains inert, a library of unread books, a tool set never employed. You must ask yourself, am I merely collecting information, or am I actively forging it into a weapon of creation, a tool for mastery? Now, let us consider the profound economic implications of this distinction, the scarcity principle of expertise. In a world awash with generalized understanding, where a cursory grasp of many subjects is commonplace, what commands value? Scarcity. Abundance cheapens. When nearly everyone possesses a superficial understanding, that understanding becomes commoditized, its inherent value diminished to near zero. But true, specific, deep expertise, that, my friend, is rare. It is an intellectual commodity whose scarcity drives its premium. Imagine two tools: a common, mass-produced hammer, found in every hardware store, inexpensive, universally available. Then imagine a precision instrument, meticulously crafted for a highly specific, complex task, available only from a handful of master artisans, costing a fortune. Both are tools. Both perform a function, yet their value, their perceived worth, and their earning potential are astronomically different. The hammer of general knowledge is necessary, yes, but it builds nothing extraordinary. The precision instrument of specialized knowledge, however, constructs empires, solves monumental challenges, and commands an entirely different class of compensation and respect. This is an economic law applied directly to your intellect. Are you content to wield the common hammer, or do you aspire to become the master of the precision instrument sought after for your unique capacity? Furthermore, when you embrace and cultivate specialized knowledge, you are not merely becoming an expert. You are establishing your own intellectual monarchy. What does this mean? It means you are no longer merely competing on a level playing field, striving to outdo others who possess similar generalized capabilities. Instead, you are defining the playing field itself. You become the sovereign ruler of a specific domain, a territory of understanding where your authority is unquestioned, your insights invaluable. Others may dabble in your realm, but none possess the depth, the nuance, the intimate understanding that you have painstakingly acquired. This grants you a unique position of leverage and influence. You don't just participate in the game, you dictate its terms. You become the go-to authority, the indispensable resource, the one whose counsel is sought, whose solutions are implemented, whose vision guides the path forward. This is the difference between being a pawn in a vast game and being the king of your own intellectual kingdom. Are you ready to claim your throne? You have acknowledged the profound distinction between generalized information and the potent force of specialized knowledge, between the common hammer and the precision instrument. Now, the critical question arises: how does one forge such an instrument? How do you, an individual with boundless potential, construct your own architect's blueprint for specialization? This is not a passive endeavor, but a deliberate act of creation, a focused effort to carve out your unique intellectual territory. It begins not with external mandates, but with an internal discovery, an honest excavation of your deepest inclinations. Your journey commences with the inner compass, a quest to discover your unique gold vein. Dismiss the notion that finding a specialization is about chasing fleeting trends or popular niches. That approach is for the many, not for the few who aspire to true mastery. Your genuine gold vein, the source of your unparalleled power, lies at the precise intersection of three vital elements: your burning desire, your inherent aptitude, and an unmet market need. Reflect deeply on this triangulation. What problem, what challenge, what area of human endeavor genuinely obsesses you? What ignites a fire within you, compelling you to seek understanding long after others have moved on? This burning desire is more than mere interest. It is the emotional fuel that will sustain you through the arduous process of deep immersion. Next, consider your inherent aptitude. What comes naturally to you, even if you dismiss it as trivial? What tasks do you perform with a greater ease or a more intuitive grasp than others? Where do your natural talents align with your passions? This is not about being a genius in every field, but about recognizing where your innate gifts can be most effectively deployed. Finally, and crucially, where does this intersection of desire and aptitude meet an unmet market need? Where is there a gap, a problem unsolved, a demand unfulfilled, that your unique combination of passion and skill can address? This is where passion transcends hobby and transforms into purpose, where intellectual pursuit becomes a pathway to profound contribution and commensurate reward. This is where your personal growth harmonizes with the needs of the world. This is not about following the crowd, it is about leading the way, guided by your own internal resonance. For as I have always taught, a definite chief aim, fueled by an intense desire, is the starting point of all achievement. Without this inner excavation, your specialization will lack the vital spark of authenticity, and thus, the staying power required for true impact. Once your gold vein has been identified, once that definite chief aim has taken root, you must then commit to the deliberate immersion strategy. This is not passive learning, the casual perusal of articles or sporadic attendance at seminars. This is an aggressive, intentional, and all-consuming pursuit of mastery. It demands total immersion, a single-minded dedication to becoming intimately familiar with every facet, every nuance, every historical development, and every future trajectory within your chosen domain. This means devouring books, not just skimming them, seeking out mentors, not merely observing them from afar, engaging in experiments, even if they yield failure, for failure is often the most potent teacher. It is through this relentless process of inquiry, application, and refinement that surface-level understanding transmutes into deep, intuitive comprehension. Create for yourself a specialized knowledge dashboard. This is not a general reading list, but a meticulously planned, focused learning curriculum tailored to your specific gold vein. Identify the foundational texts, the seminal thinkers, the current pioneers. Seek out the mastermind alliances necessary to accelerate your learning, to challenge your assumptions, to refine your insights. Who are the few, the very best, whose minds you can tap into, either directly or through their published works and teachings? This deliberate immersion is an investment not just of time, but of intellectual and emotional capital. It will demand persistence, it will test your resolve, but it is precisely this depth of commitment that separates the true specialist from the dilettante. However, be wary of the narrow trap. True specialists are not myopic. They do not possess a confined, isolated expertise. They understand the strategic blending of knowledge. While their focus is razor-sharp within their chosen domain, they also possess a profound awareness of how their specific expertise intersects with other, seemingly disparate fields. It is this strategic fusion, this capacity to connect the dots between previously unconnected ideas that births innovation, generates novel solutions, and creates entirely new categories of value. Consider the geneticist specializing in cancer research. Their primary focus is undeniably deep within molecular biology and oncology. Yet, to truly accelerate discoveries, to unlock new treatments, they must also understand the principles of data science, bioinformatics, and perhaps even advanced engineering for drug delivery systems. This is not a return to generalized knowledge. It is a higher form of specialization, one that leverages other fields as instruments to amplify the impact of their core expertise. It means understanding the adjacent domains well enough to extract relevant insights and integrate them, not to master them. This intellectual cross-pollination is what prevents your specialization from becoming a dead end. It ensures your gold vein continues to yield new riches, new applications, and new avenues for influence. You are not building a solitary tower. You are constructing a powerful citadel, strategically connected to vital surrounding territories. Your blueprint for specialized knowledge, therefore, must include not only depth, but also intelligent connectivity. You have diligently excavated your gold vein, identifying your burning desire, inherent aptitude, and the unmet market need. You have committed to the deliberate immersion, refining your blueprint for specialized knowledge with strategic blending. Now we arrive at the pivotal stage, the alchemy of application. This is where raw potential transforms into tangible power, where your profound understanding ceases to be merely academic and becomes the engine of your personal and professional empire. This is the moment when knowledge, cultivated with such intensity, begins to yield its rich harvest, converting thought into action and action into undeniable results. Your specialized knowledge does not merely make you an expert, it positions you as a problem-solving magnet. In a world rife with challenges, both grand and minute, individuals and organizations are constantly searching for solutions. They are not merely seeking information, for information is abundant and often free. What they truly seek is relief, efficiency, innovation, and progress. They pay handsomely for those who can precisely identify their pain points and, more importantly, provide effective, elegant, and often novel solutions. When you possess a deep, specialized understanding of a particular domain, you are uniquely equipped to see problems that others overlook, to diagnose their root causes with unparalleled clarity, and to engineer remedies that are not only effective, but also highly valued. You move beyond being a general consultant who offers broad advice to becoming the essential surgeon, the master mechanic, the indispensable strategist for a specific ailment or objective. People will be drawn to you not just for what you know, but for the specific, measurable results you can deliver within your niche. This is the essence of true value creation, an active engagement with the world's needs, transforming your intellect into a powerful force for resolution. Your specialized knowledge becomes the magnet that attracts opportunities, challenges, and the resources necessary to conquer them, because you are no longer just an authority. You are the answer. Beyond individual application, your specialized knowledge becomes a mastermind multiplier in action. The very foundation of enduring success, as I have taught, often lies in the coordinated efforts of a mastermind alliance, a group of individuals united in a common purpose, each contributing their unique skills and perspectives. When you bring specialized knowledge to such an alliance, you are not just another voice. You become an invaluable, irreplaceable asset. You possess a unique piece of the puzzle, a critical lens through which to view complex problems, a deep well of insight from which to draw solutions that others simply cannot access. Your contribution amplifies the collective intelligence, accelerates problem solving, and elevates the group's capacity for achievement exponentially. In this dynamic, you transition from being a participant to becoming the recognized go-to person for that one thing, your specific area of expertise. Your insights carry more weight, your counsel is sought with greater urgency, and your contributions drive progress in ways that generalists simply cannot. You are not just making the group better, you are making it smarter, more efficient, and ultimately more successful. This is the power of synergy, where your focused knowledge not only benefits you, but elevates all those with whom you collaborate, forging stronger alliances and achieving grander objectives. Finally, embracing specialized knowledge constructs an unshakable value proposition for your entire life and career. Consider the volatile, ever-shifting landscape of our modern economy. Industries rise and fall, technologies emerge and obsolesce, and jobs that once seemed secure vanish overnight. In such an environment, what truly endures? What offers genuine security and undeniable advantage? It is not mere adaptability, for adaptability without depth is simply reactive. It is specialized knowledge. When you are deeply proficient in a specific, valuable domain, you become too valuable to ignore, too specific to be easily replaced by generalized competence, or even by emerging artificial intelligence and automation. Indeed, the true specialist learns to wield these new tools as extensions of their own expertise, amplifying their unique capabilities rather than being diminished by them. Just as a master craftsman whose hands possess an irreplaceable skill will always find demand for their unique creations regardless of economic fluctuations, so too will the master of specialized knowledge. Your expertise becomes your ultimate job security, your entrepreneurial engine, and your shield against the winds of change. You are not a disposable cog. You are an essential component, a critical linchpin in any enterprise that seeks to thrive. This is the profound difference between chasing fleeting trends and building a foundation of intrinsic, irreplaceable worth. It is the definitive pathway to securing your position as a perpetually relevant, highly compensated, and deeply respected force in any endeavor you choose to pursue. You have built your empire of expertise through the alchemy of application, transforming knowledge into undeniable influence and wealth. But consider this critical truth. An empire, however grand, is not maintained by past victories alone. It requires constant vigilance, perpetual expansion, and an unwavering commitment to adaptation. Specialized knowledge, you must understand, is not a static destination. It is a dynamic, ever-evolving frontier. To rest on your laurels, to believe that your current depth of understanding will suffice indefinitely, is to invite stagnation. And stagnation is the silent harbinger of decline. The world does not stand still. New discoveries emerge daily, technologies advance with breathtaking speed, and the very problems you once solved may transform, demanding new, more sophisticated solutions. Therefore, to maintain your edge, to preserve and amplify your position as an indispensable authority, you must embrace the concept of a perpetual growth engine. This engine is fueled by continuous, focused learning and relentless adaptation within your domain, ensuring your expertise not only endures but flourishes. This pursuit of perpetual growth is not about learning for the sake of accumulation. It is a strategic imperative. Your depth of understanding, the very thing that sets you apart, allows for constant innovation, not stagnation. Where a generalist might be overwhelmed by new information, seeing it as another scattered piece to collect, the specialist sees it as an opportunity to deepen their mastery, to refine their tools, to expand the very boundaries of their intellectual monarchy. This continuous engagement with your chosen field is what protects your position from erosion. It allows you to anticipate shifts, to recognize emerging trends before they become mainstream, and to integrate new methodologies or insights with an agility that eludes those with only a superficial grasp. Think of it not as merely updating your knowledge, but as actively sculpting the future of your niche. Your profound understanding becomes a living, breathing entity, constantly absorbing, adapting, and growing, making your expertise ever more resilient, ever more vital. This is the difference between a fleeting moment of success and a legacy of enduring impact, built on a foundation that constantly renews itself. To cultivate this perpetual growth, you must institute rigorous practices. First, establish robust feedback loops. Actively seek criticism, not merely validation, from peers, mentors, and even those who challenge your foundational assumptions. True growth often stems from the willingness to confront one's own intellectual blind spots. Where are the gaps in your understanding? What perspectives have you unintentionally excluded? Second, make it a habit to constantly challenge your own assumptions. The very ideas that led to your initial specialization may, over time, become limiting beliefs if left unquestioned. Are there new paradigms emerging that could fundamentally alter your field? Are you clinging to outdated methodologies simply because they are familiar? This self-critical examination is not a sign of weakness, but of intellectual strength, a testament to your commitment to truth and mastery above personal comfort. Third, dedicate a specific portion of your time, non-negotiably, to actively seeking out cutting-edge developments within your field. Subscribe to obscure journals, attend specialized conferences, connect with avant-garde researchers, and engage with emerging technologies that might, at first glance, seem peripheral. These are the fertile grounds from which the next wave of innovation will spring. This disciplined approach to continuous learning is directly linked to the very principles of success I have outlined throughout my work. It is the practical manifestation of the principle of habit and persistence applied directly to intellectual growth. It is not enough to simply desire continuous improvement. You must habitualize the actions that lead to it. It is the persistence through periods of challenging new information, the refusal to surrender to intellectual complacency that truly fortifies your specialized knowledge. Each new piece of information integrated, each assumption successfully challenged, each cutting-edge development understood, serves to deepen your roots, making your intellectual tree taller, stronger, and more resilient. This ongoing commitment to growth ensures that your empire of expertise does not merely stand, but expands, becoming an ever more formidable and indispensable force in a world that desperately needs your unique, profound contributions. The journey of mastery is endless, and its rewards are boundless for those willing to walk the path of perpetual growth. You have navigated the treacherous currents of generalized information and soared above the clamor of the indistinguishable. You have witnessed the truth. From the sprawling, overwhelming generalist glut that promises much but delivers little, to the focused, potent construction of your own intellectual monarchy, we have illuminated the undeniable, transformative power of specialized knowledge. You have seen how it transmutes raw fact into applied wisdom, how it shifts your value from common commodity to precision instrument, and how it transforms you from a competitor into the definer of the very playing field. We have charted the course from identifying your deepest desires and aptitudes, your unique gold vein, to the deliberate immersion required for true mastery, understanding that even the deepest focus benefits from strategic blending with adjacent fields. Finally, you have comprehended how this profound understanding is not merely academic, but a potent force in the alchemy of application, drawing opportunities as a problem-solving magnet, multiplying your influence within mastermind alliances, and forging an unshakable value proposition that secures your future against all economic uncertainties. We have explored the perpetual growth engine, the continuous commitment that ensures your empire of expertise does not merely stand, but eternally expands and adapts, making you an ever more formidable and indispensable force. Now, with this clarity, this undeniable blueprint laid before you, the moment of profound choice, the ultimate challenge, confronts you directly. Will you continue to be swept along by the currents of generalized information, remaining a mere cog in a vast, indifferent machine, indistinguishable from countless others, perpetually reacting to external forces? Or will you seize the reins of your own intellectual destiny, step forward as the architect of your future, and consciously, deliberately begin to build an empire of expertise that reflects your highest aspirations and deepest capabilities? This is not a decision to be taken lightly, for it defines not just your professional trajectory, but the very essence of your contribution to the world, the legacy you will leave behind. What is your definite chief aim, truly? What singular overarching purpose ignites your spirit, demanding your complete focus and unwavering dedication? And most importantly, what kingdom of expertise, what domain of profound understanding will you claim as uniquely your own? cultivating it with the same fervent intensity as the great achievers of history cultivated theirs? This question is not abstract. It is intensely personal, demanding an honest introspection into your deepest desires and the potential that lies dormant within you. It is a call to awaken the specialist, the master, the visionary who resides within, awaiting your command. The time for intellectual drifting, for passive consumption, is over. The moment to act, to build, to master is now. Start today. Do not defer this profound decision to a nebulous future. Identify that burning desire within you, that one problem, that one field, that one pursuit that truly captivates your imagination and demands your intellectual force. Commit to that deliberate immersion, the aggressive, intentional pursuit of knowledge that transforms information into applied wisdom. Surround yourself with the insights of masters, whether through their written works or through direct alliance. Understand that your empire awaits, not a material kingdom of land and gold, but an intellectual domain of unparalleled skill, insight, and influence. Do not merely consume knowledge, master it, devour it, dissect it, internalize it, and apply it with an unyielding determination. This is the pathway to becoming not just successful, but indispensable, not just knowledgeable, but wise, not just another voice, but an authoritative force. If this vision resonates deeply within your spirit, if the prospect of true mastery ignites a fire in your heart, then I urge you, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel for further guidance on your journey, and most importantly, share in the comments below. What specialized knowledge, what intellectual empire will you now pursue with absolute conviction? Your transformation, your ascent to true prominence, begins with that singular determined step.